Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Average Uninformed. This week we are checking out Vince Gilligan's final chapter in the Breaking Bad series with El Camino. So grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy.
Huh. Oh, that just tastes like Pledge.
Tastes like, what? Why? I mean, it smells like Pledge probably, but how does it taste like Pledge?
You don't know what Pledge tastes like?
You're right, I'm the idiot. Well, Josh, brand new week. Oh, boy, my mic is not doing so well.
Don't break it. Don't you break my TV stand. You are now listening to the sounds of Victor's hip.
All the hip, no hop. They can't all be winners.
Some of them have to be, though. Historic day, Victor. It's today was the first all-female spacewalk.
Nice.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I assume it went well.
That makes sense. They're trained.
There was no breaking news like, attention, the all-female spacewalk went terrible.
How do you feel about news like that being news that we have to like because it's so rare? I guess, you know what, for spacewalk, that's fine.
Yeah, I was going to exactly say that. Was that for a spacewalk, like that's something historic, but it's not historic to be like the all-female Ghostbusters is coming out. It's a day to celebrate, or you know what I mean. But
because you know how they've been pushing the all-female Avengers type movie.
Oh yeah,
that would be like a big deal. Would you care if it was all female or not?
It has to be organic. The reason why they get there, because otherwise it just kind of feels gimmicky.
Yeah.
Like, because they did a snippet of it in Endgame, right?
That felt kind of gimmicky.
It felt gimmicky,
yeah.
Right? I don't know. You could do a mostly female Avengers team, like just do a whole bunch of female characters and Hulk or something like that.
He's basically a girl.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could do that. I would be fine with that. I'm not saying you need a man in it to even it out. It just feels like pat us on the back because we're being progressive.
Yeah.
If you just do it. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm being represented. Like I never thought of like when you watch the Avengers, I'm never like, man, there's a lot of dudes up there. You know what I mean? Like I'm never like, oh, thank goodness they put a girl in this to even it out. Mm-hmm. I would hate it if it was all men.
I wonder though, if you think about it the other way, like if you really focus on like, oh, what if every movie was like a female star?
Right.
And most teams were like female. And then like you finally get a guy in there. It's like, would you care at that point? Because you haven't seen like mostly male casts leading up to it. It's tough to say.
I don't know. I mean, I'm obviously in like the minority of this opinion.
Yeah.
Because like movies like Black Panther and Captain Marvel each made $1 billion because they were starring an underrepresented not democracy was demographic is the word I was looking for. So I mean obviously I guess people want to see something like that, but
yeah. Well, like Shang-Chi, I guess like Asians are represented in that one, but like I'm not overly excited, nor does it matter to me. Like I'm excited for it because it's a different character than like the typical Marvel characters I'm used to. So
I have a theory about that. And I could be talking out of my butt, but like...
That's what we do here, Josh.
That's true. We are the average uninformed. My theory is that because Chinese cinema has been so prevalent, like it's been going almost as long as American cinema. Mm-hmm. I wonder if like Chinese Americans are kind of like, nah, I already feel represented.
Oh, maybe I see.
Maybe they don't like, maybe they don't actively think that, but like there's enough popular Chinese cinema movies that like, maybe they there's not as strong as a desire.
Like this isn't the first time I've seen an Asian actor in a big blockbuster movie is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, it's still, I don't know.
Wow. We started off strong this week.
Yeah, we went real deep right off the bat. Anyway,
now that with that out of the way, how's your poop?
That's fine. Well, Victor, how are you doing? Is maybe a better question. Did you do anything this week? Because I did not. do anything. Nothing I wish to talk about. Nothing newsworthy.
Nope.
Okay, moving on to the news.
Actual news.
Did you hear that Fortnite may be over with?
No.
I mean, it's not over with, but did you hear they ended their season 10 with a bang?
Would it be a bang if it's a black hole?
A bang created the black hole.
I did?
Right? So it was a missile.
Know.
I watched the video.
Oh, I didn't see this. I went down and watched because I went to visit my little brother. My little brother was there. I went down to his little game. Your dad's
your little brother?
I didn't want to talk about this point right now, Josh.
I don't really want to air my dirty laundry. Yes, there was some relationships in my family that are just a little weird. Okay.
Well, is that even possible?
For your dad to be your little brother?
Yeah. Like my bigger brother, maybe. Little brother?
That's a good point. It's impossible. I'm just trying to figure out how he would become your brother.
If
he would marry your sister?
What? No. If that, then he'd be my uncle and my dad and my brother.
He wouldn't be your uncle. He would be your brother-in-law if he married your sister.
My brother.
You know what, Victor? It doesn't matter.
It was time to just like shut this thing down. I was like, wait, we can work this out. The point is, I went down and he was playing Fortnite. Or no, he wasn't. He was just watching this like weird black screen. I was like, what are you watching? He's like, oh, this is Fortnite now.
This is Fortnite now. We don't play. We just watch a black hole together.
Well, I was just saying, like he had Twitch open on the other screen. And he's like, yeah, there's like 1,000 people watching this black hole right now. I was like, okay. So is this like an event? Or he's like, nope, it just season 10 ended. So
just wait for season 11.
I was like, all right.
Have they announced it? No.
Yeah, I went down like 6 hours later and it was like, he just left it on.
Oh yeah. Okay. So if you don't know what we're talking about, Fortnite is a video game. No, Fortnite, I guess, has seasons. I've never played Fortnite, but it ended its 10th season by shooting a bunch of missiles into space. And then they all blew up and the entire map got sucked into the black hole that it created.
Yeah.
And no one's playing anymore because there's just a black hole, as you said.
Makes sense. That's how I would do it.
I kind of hope it ends. Like, that's such a baller move to end your game. Just like, now no one can play it anymore. You should have played it when it was when it was popular.
I wonder though, if they're just going to do a new game similar, or they're just going to do a new map. Because that map, I think it's the same map every season.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but
neither. Moving on.
Okay. I just thought that was cool that happened. There's great videos out there that like takes a bunch of Twitch people reacting to it at the same time, like just different, like cutting between everybody as it happens. It's kind of great. Some people are freaking out. Some are like, oh, look what's happening. And then they're like, wait, what? Anyway, cool.
Neato.
I was always more of a Minecraft player. That's not true at all. I've played Minecraft like 4 times. I guess I'm still more of a Minecraft player because I haven't played Fortnite ever.
Yeah, I mean, technically, yes, you are.
Technically, yeah. Oh, Victor, should we move on to movie news?
Yes, let us move on to movie news.
Matrix 4. Remember how we talked about that?
Yes.
Keanu and Carrie-Anne Moss are coming back.
Makes sense.
They announced some more cast is coming. Jada Pinkett Smith is in talks to return as Niobe. Remember her? Niobe. She was the one that had the really tight buns on her hair. She was like the love interest of Morpheus. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was cool.
I liked her character. She was the star of was it Enter the Matrix? The video game companion?
Oh. No, I have no idea.
That was a great video game. I loved it. Jessica Henwick is also joined the cast. She played, I can't remember her name. She was in Iron Fist, though. She was the girlfriend, the samurai girl.
Eileen? Is that the character's name?
It doesn't sound right, but I'll let you have it. Let's just say it's Eileen.
Ugh.
Neil Patrick Harris.
What?
And Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who played Black Manta in Aquaman.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He's not playing Black Manta in The Matrix.
Well, that's stupid. Why even bother?
He's actually a good actor. I've seen him in a few things now, and he's pretty great.
It'd be funny if Neil Patrick Harris just played Barney.
I think, I know you're joking, but I mean, I think he's a program. I don't think I could see him as like one of the saved or whatever they called them, unplugged. I could almost see him as an agent. I don't know if anyone could take him seriously if he was like an agent, but maybe he's like a program like the Merovingian or the Oracle or something.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's got too much of a status to play like a kind of a part.
He has a lot of flair too. Not that he can like turn that off or anything like that, but
yeah, I think he'd be better suited for something like that.
Yeah. I just can't see him.
Maybe I was just doing motion capture for like a bunch of those like robot monsters.
Why would you get Neil Patrick Harris?
Because it's Neil Patrick Harris.
Okay. Yeah, anyway. Any of those leap out at you other than NPH?
Nope.
No.
When's the movie coming out? When it's supposed to come out?
I assume 2021. Because if they're getting casting done now, they're going to probably start filming soon, which is actually relatively close to when they announced it. So that's kind of cool. But if they film it, I imagine this is a movie with heavy special effects. So yeah, maybe early summer of 2021.
Ugh, it's so far.
Yeah. But that's the turnaround, baby. You want to talk about the Doolittle trailer, Victor?
What'd you think about it?
Well, it's funny that it's called Doolittle because it does little for me. So this is a trailer for, if you have not seen it, it's Robert Downey Jr.'s next big blockbuster. And it's just a remake of the old Dr. Doolittle movie, not the Eddie Murphy one, but the original.
Yeah, it's like, this is very different from the Dr. Doolittle I know.
Yeah. Honestly, it looks like they're selling it as this giant epic. What is it? Wonderful World. They're doing the slow version of during the trailer.
I watched it again today and I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, they're making it seem like it's really epic. I think it's going to be more comedic in tone.
I mean, it's
maybe it's just bad. They only let him say 2 lines in it. Mm-hmm. And he has that horrible French accent.
Oh yeah, the accent really bothered me.
Yeah.
I just feel like just play Tony Stark from now on.
Yeah, just come back. We'll give you literally millions of dollars.
Well, I mean, like for every character he plays.
Oh,
it's just Tony Stark.
I don't know. Robert Downey Jr. is a good actor, but it's just, yeah, I think the problem with that is like everyone just loves him as Iron Man. So anytime he does something other than, he's like, just doesn't
judge
work.
Based on that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. The first time I watched the trailer, I was like, well, that doesn't look very good. And then it was like coming in January. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Why is it that they put all the bad movies up in January?
Because nobody goes to the movies in January.
Really?
Yeah. You have a better chance of making money because like everyone just throws, I don't know. It's like the dumping ground. Has to be some part of the time of the year. Because like, let's say you had a movie, you're a movie studio and you're like, I've got a crappy movie. I got an idea. Let's put it out the same weekend as Avengers 6. Like it's not going to make any money. But if you put it in January when the rest of them is all filled with crap, then you have a good chance of making profit because there's nothing going on. And it's cold. And people are like, well, maybe I'll just go stay warm in a theater for 2 hours. I'll go watch this Doolittle movie. Yeah, I don't know. What did you think of it? Yeah,
it looks pretty, but
I have no interest in seeing it even after it comes available on home video.
Home video? You're so old.
Thank you.
Wait, I'm older.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, dang it. Yeah, I don't know. I could 100% never see it and be totally fine with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just looks bad.
Like the only thing carrying it forward is Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, but even that's not working for me.
Like, you imagine just like out there at the table, just like, all right, we greenlit this movie. Kind of wish we didn't.
Yeah,
we're gonna need someone big to sell this. Shit. Who's available?
Yeah, I don't know if that works though, because like Downey's so expensive. I wonder if this was like a dream project for him. let's move on to some Marvel and DC news, Victor. There's some rumors about Miss Marvel, the TV show.
Oh.
So my theory was always that she was going to be a mutant and not an inhuman, because it's just a little bit simpler to explain that origin. But it seems that there might be some Inhumans showing up in Miss Marvel. It sounds like they're going to be recasting the royal family. Vin Diesel is in talks, or not in talks. Was heavily rumored to be playing Black Bolt.
That's good. He goes from one character who says one line to a character who says no lines.
Yeah,
perfect.
It's probably the best way to have Vin Diesel. Just say nothing.
You think he's a bit too old to play Black Bolt, you think?
I don't know. I think he could do it. Did you see, was it Riddick? Is that what it's called?
But Riddick came out like a decade ago, didn't it?
The third one?
I have no idea. I watched one. I thought it was awesome. I don't remember which one.
Okay. Well, the third one, like he's by himself for like the first 45 minutes to an hour of the movie, and he says nothing.
Yeah.
And it's great. And it's only until other characters show up that you're kind of like, this movie kind of sucks.
I just mean like
like as far as how he looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him recently. I think the last time I saw him was XXX 2 or 3.
Oh, I think I saw. No, I'm looking back at like red carpet events, and he'd show up for like Guardians of the Galaxy, or I think it was Avengers.
Right.
And I'm thinking like, oh wow, he's pretty old. He looks old.
Get him in that superhero shape. Plus, he's been campaigning for that for years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think back when, before they even announced the Inhumans movie, he was kind of hinting that he was a part of it. Like he would wear Inhumans shirts and stuff on his Facebook page and stuff like that. So everyone thought that's who he was playing. And then there's that whole shakeup at Marvel, and then Inhumans became a TV show. I imagine Vin Diesel's like, I don't want to be a star of a show, and then cast someone else. And so now it's back. Maybe he's like, yeah, I'll be a star of a show. Anyway, so he's rumored. I think Aaron Taylor Johnson has been rumored.
You might know that name in like a decade and a half.
He played Quicksilver, right? So he was also rumored to be one of the royal family.
Really? You think they would?
I don't know if they would, because it's one thing to like, because they just did that with what was her name, Gemma Chen. She was Minerva in Captain Marvel. Now she's the star of Eternals.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do that with Quicksilver, because like his face is not obscured in any way when he plays Quicksilver. Seems weird to me.
Yeah.
Especially because like I kind of have an inkling we're going to see Quicksilver again in WandaVision.
Oh, that'd be cool. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Do you like Quicksilver? Do you like this representation of Quicksilver?
You got the character right. I mean, it was fine. The problem was that they did the X-Men one right before it. And they did a really cool sequence with him.
Yeah.
I think like comparing them, I think Aaron Taylor Johnson got like the character more right. And then Evan Peters got like the cool sequence.
Yeah.
But then was just kind of
I feel like with characters like that, you can't give them like such a cool sequence, because then they just basically steal the show after that point.
Well, yeah. And then they had to write him out of the movie because he was too powerful.
Yeah.
And then the next movie, they tried to do the sequence again, but it doesn't work because tonally, like someone literally just died. And anyway.
Good old X-Men.
What a tangent. Yeah. So Inhumans may be showing up in Miss Marvel. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to like, I was just thinking like, I don't know, because they don't have their own TV show anymore. I'm fine with that, because like then they're still there, but clearly people didn't care, so like they can still move ahead with plans, but they don't have to like do an entire TV show dedicated to them.
Yeah,
for people to be interested.
And I think like the Inhumans, while I find them interesting, I find them more interesting when they're a guest in someone else's book, or like when they're a part of an event. Because like Black Bolt is very cool. But when you make him the main character, like a character who does not speak, it's not interesting.
Yeah,
it's more cool if like, it's like, what does the king say about this? And he just kind of gives a look, and then Medusa's like, the king says you cannot have your sheep. And you're like, oh, okay. I only watched the first episode of the Inhuman show, but they gave him sign language. And I was like, no, that ruins it. Don't give him sign language.
Yeah, because like the viewer's not going to know it.
Yeah.
So why even bother?
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, he's sophisticated because he knows 2 languages. Silence and sign.
Actually, you know what the huge news this week was, Victor?
What?
Kevin Feige was made the chief creative officer of Marvel. So he was already the CEO of Marvel Studios. He is now in charge of all the creative output for all of Marvel. So that includes any TV show that's produced under Marvel Studios or Marvel Entertainment. It also includes comic books and video games.
Whoa. They were just expanding his umbrella.
The guy is going to die soon from sheer exhaustion.
Maybe he just delegates everything and then he just handles all the important decisions. But I guess at this point, if you're handling that many properties, yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's kind of nuts. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I don't think...
You think it makes more sense just to give him have him focus on the MCU?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I'm being cynical, but I can't see how the MCU doesn't suffer from that. Especially if he's now he's concentrating on other universes because he's dealing with the comics and he's dealing with video games and I don't know.
Damn. I wonder, do you think he's actually making that many decisions though? Or do you think he's just there to oversee okay, in the comics, this character's doing this and this is happening with these characters. Is that okay with you? Not necessarily him sitting down and directing it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's not like he's sitting next to who's a writer who's working at Marvel right now. I don't know. Bendis. I don't think he's working at Marvel, but whatever. It's not like he's sitting down with Bendis and he's like, I really don't like that line. Maybe you could change it a little bit. I don't think he's micromanaging, but still, that's a lot of stuff on one guy's plate. Yeah. Who's already a pretty busy guy.
How old is he?
I want to say late 40s.
He's fine. He'll get at least to 60.
I love how we're caring about the well-being of a person we've never met.
Yeah, but he's overseeing the things that we care about, so...
Yeah, I guess so. It just feels weird. It's not like some starving child in Africa. It's a millionaire in Hollywood who's got too much work to do. Poor guy. The character Shriek is going to be joining Venom 2. Do you know who Shriek is?
Yeah.
I bet you can guess her powers by the name. Naomi Harris is rumored to be in talks to play that.
Naomi Harris. Why does that name sound familiar?
I think she was in the newer James Bond movies. I think she plays Moneypenny.
Oh. Okay.
Black
cool.
actress.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's fine. I don't think I've really read anything with Shriek in it. So.
I liked her in those Bond movies, so.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't outstanding, but she didn't.
What was she really good in? Sorry. Oh, is it Moonlight? I think.
Didn't see it.
Yeah, she was really good in that. She was this drug-addled, terrible mom.
Nice.
But anyway, cool. Moving on. Victor, did you see the Suicide Squad set photos?
I did not.
Really? I sent them to you. Do you not get my emails?
I don't know.
Hurt.
Why would I look at your emails? No, I'm sorry. I did not.
Do you want to take a quick pausey and look at them?
Yeah, sure.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
Well, that's kind of cool. Who's the guy in the blue and yellow?
The character or the actor?
Character.
I think the character's name is Javelin.
That makes sense.
I'm not really familiar with some of DC's C-list characters, so
I mean,
actually most of them I don't know who they are.
Oh, okay.
The rumor is Nathan Fillion is playing Arm Fall Off Boy.
Really?
Who I've heard of just out of lists of the most dumbest characters
That's
comics
have
ever created.
The stupid green outfit?
Yeah, he doesn't look like that in the comics, but there was I think it was the Weekly Planet that actually had it, the exclusive on it, but they said who everyone was playing and everyone else seems to line up. So it's probably a good thought that he is playing Arm Fall Off Boy. It makes sense too. James Gunn has that kind of sense of humor.
I mean, obviously, set photos, the costumes looks kind of terrible, but I'm curious.
I think it like, yes, they kind of look tacky and dare I say comic booky, but like it kind of works, especially because I think when James Gunn announced the cast, he was like, don't get attached. So like, of course you want to see like someone who looks like Javelin, just get a, I don't know, like a claw to the face or something like that. Or, you know what I mean? Just die a brutal death because it's funny that he's wearing
It's a pretty ridiculous outfit. Who's the weird redskin lady?
Yeah, I don't know.
Good.
Like it's one of those things where they list all the characters that are in it. And they're like, she's playing this character. And you're like, I don't know who that is, even if now that you've told me. Cool.
Yeah. Oh, whatever. That's cool. I'm dang with it. I'm still not 100% excited for this movie yet.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's like the only DC movie I'm excited for right now. Speaking of Batman, this movie I'm excited about, the Matt Reeves, the Batman, they have cast both the Riddler and Catwoman. Jonah Hill is going to play both.
That makes sense.
No, just kidding. Jonah Hill's out of talks now. I think they couldn't come to a deal he was happy about. So he was just like, you know what? I don't need this. I'm an Oscar nominated actor who's not British, but I'm doing a British accent. I'm Jonah Hill. That's what Jonah Hill sounds like. Okay, do you want to know who's really playing Catwoman Riddler?
Wait, you were joking?
Yes.
Oh. Fine. What is it?
Catwoman is being played by Zoe Kravitz.
That sounds familiar.
She's been in a few things. You would probably know her as the weird wasp chick from X-Men First Class.
Oh.
The one who was on the good side and then...
She swapped because she's a dick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been in some other stuff I don't really know. And the Riddler is being played by Paul Dano.
Not familiar with? Paul Dano.
I think what you would know him from. Did you ever see There Will Be Blood?
No.
How about Swiss Army Man?
Definitely not.
Oh, you're missing out.
Oh.
You know who he is?
Yeah. He was in, wait, what was the first movie you said?
There Will Be Blood?
Yes, I have seen it. It was a long time ago. The milkshake guy.
Yeah, he's the one who gets murdered by a bowling pin in the last scene. Whoops. Spoilers.
He's in Wildlife.
I drink your milkshake.
I don't know if you've heard of this movie, Josh, but Swiss Army Man.
Yeah,
he was in
that.
that.
That's the one where Daniel Radcliffe plays a farting corpse.
Oh.
The movie's awesome.
Oh, is it?
Yes. If you've not seen Swiss Army Man, I recommend seeing it. Don't watch the trailer or anything. Just let it happen to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'm more excited about Paul Dano than I am Zoe Kravitz. I don't really like Zoe Kravitz. I don't know why. Just every time I see her in a movie, I'm kind of like, oh,
this movie's gonna suck.
No, she's usually in good movies, but it's like she has anti-charisma, like towards me, I guess. Like I'm like, she can be charming and stuff like that, but every time I see her, I'm like, ugh.
Is she like who's the guy who plays RoboCop that you don't like?
Joel Kinnaman?
Yeah, is that the female Joel Kinnaman for you?
No, because that rule is I actually like Joel Kinnaman, but anytime he's in a movie, that movie's gonna suck.
RoboCop didn't.
Yeah, it did.
Suck. A little bit.
Yeah, it did. Anyway, so that's pretty exciting. It's also just exciting for me that they're casting characters now, because it's kind of like when they cast Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. Like, just because we had heard about the movie being made for so long, and then finally, like, that kind of makes it like, oh, this is happening.
Yeah.
We've just been hearing about the Batman since like before Justice League came out. So it's kind of cool that we're getting close to them starting to film.
Ben Affleck so much about Batman, he quit.
Yeah. He's back in Kevin Smith movies now. This is what you did, internet. Oh, man.
So wait, when is that? 2021? Is that a 2021 movie as well?
You know, I don't remember, Victor, but that makes sense.
Yeah. Man, I want another Superman movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang it. Stupid DCEU. Screwing things up.
Doing Harley Quinn movies.
Ugh.
Is that weird to think about? Like, that we're like on the second Suicide Squad movie, and there's a Harley Quinn spinoff that's coming out, and like we haven't gotten like a Green Lantern movie or like
A Flash.
a Flash movie like ever.
Oh, remember Flash? Remember when he was supposed to get a movie?
Like this is the same complaint people had with like when Guardians of the Galaxy came out. They're like, Guardians of the Galaxy is being made and Wonder Woman doesn't have a movie. Yeah, it's weird to think about. Why do they choose the characters they do? But
Imagine just like looking, like if you gave the list of DC movies to like your younger self, how crazy would that list look to you?
you know what? We harp on DC a lot. The thing I really like about their movies that they did really well in the first Suicide Squad is they're really good at just like hinting at a bigger universe we just haven't seen yet. Whereas Marvel, you kind of felt them building everything together. Like when Iron Man first came out, you felt like Iron Man was the only hero. And like when Thor came out, you're like, yeah, Thor's the second hero we're getting. But like in Suicide Squad, it was like, no, there's like a whole bunch of people that are already established that you just don't know about. I really liked that.
Doesn't Fury have a line about that?
You just don't know it yet. Yeah, something like that. But they didn't show it in Marvel.
Yeah.
Like they weren't hinting that like Spider-Man was off, fighting crime in New York. And like, so the first time we see him in Civil War, it's, he's only been around for a few months.
Yeah.
Stuff like every time we are introduced to a character, we're not that far off from their origin.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true.
As much as I feel like it was a missed opportunity to start Batman at the end of his career in that universe.
But it was kind of cool to like,
yeah, right. Like that he had done all these battles and stuff that you just haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're just throwing everything at the wall. So, whoa, whatever. Victor, I think that was it for the news. Victor, shall we move on to the movie of the week?
Yes. This week, kind of a departure from our usual. Didn't go to the movies to watch a movie.
We watch movies at home all the time.
Yes, but like,
not Netflix movies.
El Camino.
A Breaking Bad movie. I believe it's its full title.
Oh, really?
I think so.
I clearly
they
pay
always have
attention
to
to these
brand
things.
it, right? Like they can't just like call it El Camino. It has to be like, by the way, this is related to that show you liked.
Well, to be fair, I don't know if I would have caught on just by looking at the name. I just assumed it was an Aaron Paul movie.
Jesse Pinkman on the front.
Yeah, that could just be Aaron Paul playing Aaron Paul. Has he been in any other movies or shows?
Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Do you remember that movie? I remember seeing that trailer like every time I went to the theater for like a year.
Yeah, they spammed that.
Yeah, and I didn't see it. Didn't work.
So those trailers really worked for you.
Yeah. Actually, they probably had the opposite effect for me, where I was just like, I don't want to watch this movie. I've seen enough of it. Even though it's the same 3.5 minutes.
Do you think that would be the same for you if it was another trailer? Do you think if you've seen, like, obviously Marvel doesn't really work on you because like you're excited for it no matter what, probably.
Yeah. Sometimes like if I'm in a theater and I've seen the trailer online, I'm like, ugh. And it's like, but I can't really complain. Like,
yeah,
they're doing their job, right? Like, but sometimes, yeah.
Like, what are they like after seeing Eagle Has Fallen so many times in theaters? The trailer
that has nothing to do with the trailer, just with the fact that it exists.
But I'm going to watch that movie. I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay.
Anyways, we watched El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie.
Yes, we did. Yeah. Not together though.
No. When did you watch it?
Last night.
Wow. Okay. Is that why you were up so late?
No, I watched it at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I watched it Wednesday. Not at a reasonable time.
Phew. You were so ahead, Victor.
A day. That's a solid 24 hours. I watched that like midnight.
So not even. So you watched it Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Jeez. Is it lonely up there on your high horse?
No, it's pretty nice. I like the space. Non-spoiler review. What'd you think?
I liked it.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. What did you think, Victor?
I think it was a solid, like, it felt like 2 good episodes of Breaking Bad, with a good beginning and a good end. Yeah, I definitely recommend. It didn't feel out of place. It didn't feel like it was tacked on. It didn't feel like they made this movie because, okay, well, the Breaking Bad hype's dying, so let's spice things up a bit. I think the only thing that was weird for me, or the thing I didn't like about it, was one of the characters in it. You can clearly tell time hasn't done so well for him.
Okay, we're going to talk about that in spoilers. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but otherwise, it's solid movie. 2 hours and 2 minutes of good old Breaking Bad action.
Yeah, let's get into spoilers, Victor.
Okay. Todd, man, looks like a weird Val Kilmer.
Victor, he's discount Matt Damon. Everyone knows that.
Well, he's morphed into Val Kilmer in this one.
So you're talking about Jesse Plemons.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I did make mention of that. I watched this with my wife last night, and that was one of the something I actually said to her was just like, yeah, he's gained some weight since then.
It's not just the weight; he just looks old.
It's been like
6 years.
10 years? No, 6 years since the last season, right? That's a chunk of change, right there. Like, yeah,
I guess. Anyways, yeah, spoilers. What do you?
I really liked it. Like you touched on it, like it's just kind of a great epilogue to Breaking Bad. Like it feels very Breaking Bad, and it is unapologetically Breaking Bad. Like it is for the fans, not really anyone else. Yeah. As I said, I watched it with my wife, and she hasn't watched Breaking Bad since it ended 6 years ago. So she doesn't really remember much of it. And so I felt I was like constantly explaining who people were to her. Yeah. And yeah, because the movie just doesn't bother. Like, it's like, no, if you're watching this, you're a fan. So,
or like it almost feels like this is supposed to be watched at the end of Breaking Bad. Yeah. The last season. It's like, this is, the epilogue.
Well, yeah, let's break down the plot real quick. So basically, right after the end of Breaking Bad, Jesse is seen driving away from his imprisonment in a hole in the ground, laughing hysterically as he drives away in El Camino. And this movie takes place immediately right after that. Yeah. We start off with him in the El Camino, and then him just trying to get out of town, basically. That's kind of the plot of it. That's like, there's flashbacks here and there to reference characters who have passed on and stuff like that. But like,
kind of helps speed up the plot. Cause there's no period where like they're just the characters explaining what they're going to do. Like everything's shown, which is kind of nice. Yeah.
I liked that it's just kind of like appropriately Breaking Bad, which is like kind of low stakes, high stakes, where everything is like, I mean, we throw around the term grounded a lot, but like Breaking Bad is like extremely realistic. Yeah. And the point of like, if there's a drug dealer, like one drug dealer, and he has a gun and there's two of you, the drug dealer is still going to win. Like, cause that's how that situation would happen in real life. Like if it was a movie, of course they would overpower him and whatever. Yeah. Right. Like I love that Breaking Bad is that they can take a seemingly small situation that would be in another movie, and like, that's the climax of the movie. Yeah. It's
just well played up and like well directed and everything.
Yeah. You know what, before we get too far in this, let's talk just about Breaking Bad in general. I think we've talked briefly about it in the past. Like, we both watched the show.
We watched it together most of the part, right? Most of it.
I think we were living together while it was airing. Yeah. I definitely discovered it while we were
the second season. I think we might have binged like the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I think it was on the air for a little while. I remember thinking it was a comedy show because they were really upping, like the marketing all had that picture of Bryan Cranston with no pants. Yeah. And I just remember like thinking it was a comedy, but then I think I saw him on like Kimmel or something like that, and they showed a clip from it, and I was like, this is not what it was. Like, this looked really good. And I remember finding it and watching it all. Yeah.
Yeah. The first episode's a good, like, it sets a tone for the series pretty well. First episode, or at least the first 2 episodes, where they have like the drug dealer in the bathtub. Right.
Yeah. And they melt him. It's a really great show. It's kind of interesting because a lot of shows have copied its style now. Cause like at the time, everything was about returning to status quo. And I remember, I think it's around like season 3 of Breaking Bad, where you kind of realize like oh, where they're heading, there's no going back.
Yeah.
Like they're never, like Walt's never gonna just go back to being a high school teacher and like he solves his cancer problems or whatever. Like he's never gonna have that life. And and since then, like TV has evolved really because of Breaking Bad, because it's become like a single long form story instead of episodic serialized.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because even when I was watching, like, this is the first TV show that I've watched as it aired, which was very frustrating for me. But like, I noticed, like, as you watch it, exactly what you're saying. Like, it feels like it has an ending in mind. It has a destination to go to, and it's not just like filler episodes and just episodic, which was really nice. Because I think the show we watched, I don't know, it was Battlestar Galactica. Was before or after that? You remember that?
Probably right around the same time, or maybe a hiatus or something like that. Because it doesn't really matter.
But I think like those two shows together was like, whoa, like it convinced me, because like up to that point, I didn't really have TV or like an interest in watching TV shows. But those two shows were like, okay, like clearly there's some good quality stuff on TV. Breaking Bad was like a good, it set the bar pretty high for me. Well,
I mean, I don't think it's hyperbolic to say that it's probably the best show that's ever been on television.
Yeah.
I mean, one could argue that, but it's certainly up there. That's for sure. But I love Breaking Bad. I recently I rewatched it when I was commuting back and forth to work. I would download a Netflix episode on my phone and watch it on the way home. And I remember rewatching it, and it'd been a few years since I had seen it. And I'm just like, man, this is really good. Like, this is a really great, I should tell someone I should recommend this show. And it's like, oh yeah, everyone knows.
So you think you're saying it's held up? It's aged very well?
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't feel necessarily of its time. Like it feels like the time it is set in, but it like the characters are so rich that they're kind of timeless, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Understandable. Yeah.
Like getting back to El Camino, like one of the things like my wife was saying was that like she was noticing things like Jesse's flip phone and stuff like that. And it's just like, yeah, this is only like, I think this is like 2006 that it's supposed to take place in or something like that.
But like burner phones generally are cheap stuff, right?
Usually, yeah.
Like I doubt you're going to have like a bunch of burner iPhones.
But yeah, that was the example I thought of, but there was a few other examples of what time period it's set in. Like, the phone books. She kept on saying, why do they have phone books in their house? And I was like, well, it's like 2006. So people still had phone books. I think it's 2006.
Somewhere around there.
I don't know. Like, cause like there's 5 seasons of the show and it only takes place like
two
years max, but there's a huge time jump in the last season.
Yeah.
So I think it's only like most of the show only takes place over a year. But do you watch Better Call Saul at all?
No. I think I watched the first few episodes and I wasn't really feeling it. I think it was kind of burnt out on Breaking Bad at that point.
Oh, okay. Well, I highly recommend that one. I would agree with you. The first couple episodes, they're they kind of feel like, hey, remember Breaking Bad? Like there's a few characters that show up and you're like, really? Like that character showed up?
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like organic. But as it's progressed, it's become a fantastic show.
How many seasons is it?
I think the 4th one is airing this year. Or maybe
okay, so it's not done yet.
No, there's another 2 seasons planned or something.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't remember if we're on our 4th season or we just finished the 4th. But anyway, back to El Camino.
A little sad they only kept the car for like the first 30 minutes.
Why did they call it that? I guess you couldn't call it like Alaska or something like that.
Yeah, I guess. But then you're kind of giving it away. But did you find this movie kind of predictable?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Very predictable. I actually have that written down in my notes. Like everything from like the guy showing up and being like, those guys aren't cops, to like, I turned out to be wrong, but that part towards the end where the guy makes the 911 phone call.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't hang up on 911. And like Jesse goes and says that exact thing. And I was like, yeah. But yes, I found it very predictable.
Yeah. And the only thing that kind of caught me off guard was the gunfight at the end.
Oh, really? I
expected there to be conflict, but I didn't expect I thought it was maybe more of a sneak in, sneak out kind of thing by the way he handled it.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking that scene in particular, I was like, that kind of worked out that he wanted to do a little gunfight.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the best possible way for you to win.
2 guns. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't expect Jesse to beat him because that guy was all jacked up on cocaine.
Yeah. So I thought he was like, wow, you're really challenging a guy that's like coked up to a gunfight where reflexes are important. All right.
Okay. Well, I guess you're the hero of this movie. Imagine if that's just how they ended the movie. He just got shot up in that gunfight and it's like, guess you're not going.
All right. But Alaska though.
And he crawls over and there's like an El Camino in the garage and he just touches it with his hand and then he dies. And they're like, the end.
They did it. They showed the name of the movie.
What did you think of all the cameos and the flashbacks and stuff?
I'm kind of glad they didn't show that Skinny Pete scene at the police station.
Oh yeah, because there's a trailer where Skinny Pete is like, "I'm not telling you anything."
Yeah,
I was waiting for it the entire movie.
Oh really?
I even watched the end of the credits. So I was like, maybe it's an after credit scene.
Oh, that'd be a weird after credit scene.
That's true.
No, I liked it because it's like, yeah, again, this is made for the fans. It's like they're expecting you to have already seen that, and it's already a 2-hour movie, so why bother putting that in?
Yeah, it made sense that Skinny Pete and Badger would help him out.
Explains why he doesn't have his hat. That was weird.
Yeah. It's weird. He takes off his hat and he looks like 10 years younger. He just has these nice flowing locks that kind of has the skater hair.
Yeah.
He has a young man's haircut. For all we know, that actor's like 17. He's just been doing meth his entire life.
Yeah, we really dug deep. We wanted to get the authentic actors in these character roles.
Victor, he's a method actor. I liked that Mike showed up. I liked all the flashbacks in general because they all served a purpose. It wasn't just like, here's Walter White.
Yeah.
It was like each one of them told Jesse something he needed to know, but he didn't listen to in that moment. Mm-hmm. And now he's listening to it in this movie.
Yeah.
Which I really liked.
Also, I liked in that Walt flashback where they're at the diner.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, was Jesse just eating a bowl of pineapples?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Who doesn't like pineapple?
I love pineapples, but that's weird.
I know. There's lots of other stuff at that breakfast buffet.
But like Walt's line about like, he's so lucky that he's so young, be able to do something so amazing when he's so young. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, that's a good little like hint. Like, cause I don't know, that's a little moment between him and Walt that you've never really seen in the main show. Can
I just like mention the acting in that scene too? Like Aaron Paul is so good. Like all the flashbacks, you can kind of pinpoint where he is in the show. Because he can just go back to different parts of Jesse's life and I guess maybe just the level of happiness he has and joy with the world. Like you can kind of figure out what season they're in where the flashback is taking place. Mm-hmm. But like it's really phenomenal writing and acting and I guess Bryan Cranston's part too, like that he can, because they still kind of had that like nice relationship, I guess, where they're just kind of tolerating each other, but they still kind of like each other.
Yeah,
like they haven't completely become enemies at that point. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's cool. Found Bryan Cranston's bald cap really distracting.
I noticed that. Yeah,
just seeing his bald head for years on end, and then the fake one on top. It's just
I mentioned that to my friend. He was like, "No, it doesn't look like a bald cap. He probably shaved his head." I was like, "Really?"
For 5 minutes of screen time, probably a day of shooting. No.
Wait, when did that take place, do you think? Because they still had that little RV.
I'd say end of like right around season 1, season 2. Because it starts with him on the phone with some girl. I think he's talking to Jane.
Oh, yeah.
And then she shows up in a flashback right at the end.
Mm-hmm. It was a good scene. And that, like, of all the flashbacks, him and Walt in the diner, I think it was probably my favorite.
Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite too. I mean, we talked about Todd a little bit. I really liked Todd in this.
He was kind of like, I liked him because he felt like he was supposed to be like the good guy of like the gang that kind of held him captive. Mm-hmm. But like he was kind of creepy because he was just so detached from everything.
Yeah,
like he killed this cleaning lady. He was like, she found my money. guess I gotta find a new place because that's not a good thing to happen.
Yeah.
Nice lady.
And just so casual about it. Like he's like, oh yeah, I need you to come help me with a thing. Doesn't warn him at all. And he just walks in and there's a dead body there.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's funny that they're rolling her up in that rug. And he's like, oh, wait, unroll her. He takes the belt off her neck.
Yeah, I'm going to need this later.
He puts it back on.
Oh man. And then he's just like, you want some soup?
Yeah. She's just in the background rolled up.
Yeah. He's an interesting character. I don't remember him being like that friendly, like that kind of, I don't know how to describe it. Like in this movie, he seems to like genuinely want to be Jesse's friend in it, but like almost can't understand why Jesse doesn't like him.
Yeah.
And I never quite got that from him in Breaking Bad.
Well, this was like a weekend alone with just the two of them, right? I think before in the show, like they were always around the gang.
I guess he never really saw much of Todd. Well, I guess he was kind of like that with do you remember the lady who was like running the corporation side of the meth business?
Yeah.
I guess
she was mentioned too, right?
She was mentioned. She wasn't in it, but she was mentioned.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, like there's all sorts of little Easter eggs in there, like for Breaking Bad fans, like just little things. Like in Todd's apartment, there's the pest control shirt that
I missed that.
There was just like on the floor and in the mess I saw, and of course there's the tarantula itself.
Yeah, that was cool.
Which he took when he killed that little kid on the motorbike.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other one? I haven't written down. Oh, all the Star Trek stuff in Skinny Pete's house. Because there's that famous scene where Skinny Pete is pitching a Star Trek episode to Badger.
Oh, I don't remember
it's
that.
like he's like a closet Star Trek fan. And so I just love that. Like just in the set design, they don't make mention of it at all. But just in the background, there was all of Next Generation on VHS in his bookcase behind him.
Oh man.
There's a few, I think the Enterprise and a Klingon warbird were like on display.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. Yeah, I like when they put little details like that in. Because it really shows they care about the characters enough to like go the extra mile for that.
Yeah, and it's also like, because the obvious Easter egg would be to do like the Los Polos Hermanos logo somewhere, but they didn't do that. They went for like the even deeper cuts.
Yeah.
I liked that.
What do you think about the ending? About him getting back to Alaska or getting to Alaska? It was a good end for the character.
Honestly, like, yeah, I like it kind of makes it a little bit more clear of like where Jesse ended up. Cause like, I basically thought that's where he went, not Alaska per se, but I thought that's where he went at the end of Breaking Bad. If we had never had this movie, be like, yeah, he went away and he lived his life as a free man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked it. And it kind of makes it, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that it doesn't change the ending of Breaking Bad. If you never saw this, it's not like, oh, you really need to see this because it changes everything.
Yeah.
Like it's really just like a PS on the Breaking Bad letter where it's just like, by the way, Jesse went to Alaska.
Mm-hmm. And here's how he did it.
Yeah. So I like that it doesn't ruin Breaking Bad in any way. Cause a lot of those things like, and like this whole movie in itself, like it could very easily feel like it's like a gimmick or like, as you were saying, like, oh, the Breaking Bad hype is dying. We need a movie.
Just to give it a refresher.
Yeah. It honestly feels like Vince Gilligan, the creator, was just like, you know what? I kind of feel like I left Jesse up in the air a little bit. Like, I'd like to find those lines.
He gave everyone a pretty solid ending one way or another. Yeah, I guess Jesse was the only one who's probably. I wonder if I feel like this felt like an episode that he had written, but like they made a decision just like, okay, just leave it off there because this is Walt's story and it should end with him dying. I feel like he was probably just like itching to like make like have this out there. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it was like originally part of the story. Because it's so well connected. Maybe the way they shot it. I wouldn't be surprised if like some of those scenes after he escaped were shot prior to the movie.
I don't think so. I think all of what you saw was shot specifically for the movie. Like I don't think there was any leftover scenes because it was all widescreen as well, which Breaking Bad was not.
Don't they usually shoot in widescreen and then crop it for TV? I thought that was the big thing. That's
question.
why we went from 4:3 to widescreen, because that's how Friends was shot.
Oh, right. And now you can see all this extra stuff.
Oh yeah, I've been watching Friends, and there's scenes where like characters off screen are just like laughing at whatever is happening, like in the original frame.
Or it's like stand-ins and not Jennifer Aniston or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a few of those. Anyway, that's a tangent.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember Joss Whedon being pretty upset when they changed Buffy from 4:3 to 16:9 or whatever the TV widescreen is.
Yeah.
Because he was like, no, it was shot with 4:3 in mind. So having all this extra information is not what we wanted.
Yeah.
Anyway, tangent.
What can you do?
Did you get the Netflix recap right before it?
There was a Netflix recap?
Yeah, there was like a 4-minute trailer of Breaking Bad right before the movie started.
What?
You could skip the recap if you wanted.
Oh, no, we didn't get that option.
Oh, okay.
What?
Well, I had it. And so it was actually really nice because it's just a nice, healthy reminder of like what happened that led to these events. I found that it like gave me like PTSD for the show because it would just be like quick moments and it would show like these horrible things that happened to characters. And you'd be like you'd flash back to the emotion of watching that, like, and the build up to it and stuff like that. And then you'd be like, almost like, and then it would be like on for like 3 seconds and they'd skip to something else. And you'd be like, and then it would do something else. You're like, no, I can't take it.
Well, you remember like, this show was so stressful for me. Not a good experience. But like I ended up watching Aaron Paul did some like minute and 30-second recap on some talk show.
Oh yeah. I think it was on Kimmel. He did it.
Yeah. I watched that and I was like, oh yeah. Okay. That was enough for me. Explained pretty well by him. I liked it.
Yeah.
A lot of details were out, but
yeah.
But
the audience is like, yeah, when they mention certain things and you're like,
it reminds me of those like recaps by that character from Ant-Man.
Oh, Louise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, I'd say I like this movie a lot. I wouldn't recommend it though if you've not seen Breaking Bad.
Yeah, you'd be completely lost.
Yeah,
they do not hold your hand through this at all.
It is what Victor said. It is essentially just an extra long episode that they threw on the end.
Mm-hmm. Watching this though, I'm definitely considering going back and watching Breaking Bad again.
Right? It kind of gets you. You should watch Better Call Saul.
Is it? Okay.
It's totally worth it.
Okay, fine. It's on Netflix.
Yes.
All right, fine. That is the next show then. I'm getting sick of watching Friends again. So. I'd recommend this. Really good. And Yeah. Like even if I took out the nostalgia of Breaking Bad, I still think this is like a solid movie.
Yeah, it's well acted, and like Breaking Bad always had interesting cinematography. Mm-hmm. And plus, like they where are they? They're not in New Mexico, Albuquerque, right? No, wait, that is New Mexico.
I have no idea.
Where are they? Is it Albuquerque?
Let's go with that.
Oh boy, maybe it's New Mexico.
Well, at one
now
point,
I feel like a terrible fan.
Albuquerque is one of the places they shot the film, or that's one of the places the show takes place in.
Okay. Well, anyway,
so
I can't remember my point now. Oh, they really make Albuquerque look beautiful. Like there's that when Todd, he wants to bury the cleaning lady. So at one point he says, I want to take her somewhere beautiful. And they take her to the desert. Mm-hmm. And like they just do a few shots of like the dunes and stuff like that. And it's just gorgeous.
Super pretty. Yeah. Also, when they start breaking ground to dig up her little grave.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, there's no way they're going to be able to make that smooth over by the end. And like people are if someone drives by, it's like, okay, someone clearly dug that up. By the end, it looks pretty good.
He bought a broom. He's a smart guy.
It's like he's done that before.
Yeah. He's like, don't dig there. Just not there. What
do you think about that? Just like having a desert within like a couple hours drive of you that you can just go out and not that like,
I don't know. I like trees, man.
I like trees too, but like switch it up. Desert's cool. Just the idea of like going out in the middle of nowhere and like there's just no one around. It's kind of cool. And like you can see for miles on end.
Just go and live in Saskatchewan then.
Yeah, but that's Saskatchewan then.
Yeah. Go to the prairies, man.
Anyways, you want to wrap this up?
You know what, Victor? I just thought before we go, we could talk about this episode marks. We have been doing this podcast for a year.
Is it a year now?
I mean,
like episode wise, yes. 50,
something like that. We missed a few weeks here and there, but
our first episode was Venom, right?
Yeah.
So whenever Venom came out.
How do you feel? We've been doing this podcast for a year. Have like 10 people listening.
I mean, you know what? I thought we would have had a bit more by now, but this is fun. You know, this was originally like a project to kind of get me better in front of a mic and then potentially in front of a camera. Oh, experiment, but definitely improved on that. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just fun. I like having an excuse to see you every week.
Yeah.
And talking about stuff. Yeah. I don't really care about the follower aspect of it. Like, it's just more fun to do it.
Don't listen to them. Keep following us, please.
It's just like we post this episode and it's just our followers go down to 2. But yeah, if you do like the show, though, I mean, I think we're going to keep going.
Yeah.
But if you do like the show, recommend it to your friends if you want to. I mean, no one's forcing you, but
just do it. Just do it.
Don't let us be your dirty little secret. Shout it from the mountaintops. Yeah, I don't know. Go watch old episodes too. See how Victor's evolved in front of the mic. I've always been this good.
Yeah, well, I think the power. I think
I've gotten worse, actually.
Well, to be fair, the editing really helps me on that part. So.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you can wrap it up, Victor.
But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. It's another episode of The Average Uninformed. Let us know what your thoughts are on El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, and what your thoughts are on the podcast.
On Venom.
Yeah, the Venom. Yeah, let's go with Venom. And if you want, you can get in touch with us directly at averageuninformed@gmail.com. And we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.